Good morning.
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 Good morning.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, it's awful walking on beautiful carpets in our shoes. It's not right.
It doesn't feel right, does it?
No.
Evet,
Take
kayıttayız.
our shoes off.
And this one.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Aydın Eroğlu. Actually, he's not always in Istanbul. It's a good opportunity to have him with us today, this morning. If you like, you can practice a little bit your Turkish. You might say, Günaydın Aydın.
Günaydın.
Yes, yes. Günaydın.
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 And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Istanbul and to Istanbul Handicraft for the show of Turkish carpets. The ones you have been hesitantly walking over
Yeah.
are some of the stationary rugs the house has. The magic flying ones will follow the drinks. When people talk about Oriental carpets, we have to understand where the Orient is. Of course, today it's where China is, and it ends on the other side of the Bosphorus. It's a huge continent, that's why they call it Asia Minor. Over this continent, there are many countries bordering with each other, borrowing these designs from each other for many centuries. So we do follow the designs, and it leads us to where we want to go in this business. That is the reason why the result of 25 years of work is the language of designs. In a way, they speak to us. Ladies and gentlemen, designs used to be transborder till the 20th century. However, that century did change a lot of things in our lives. One of which was in the field of copyrights, trade rights, registration rights. Therefore, certain designs began to be registered to certain institutions and to certain countries. As a result of that, those two rugs you see on that wall are replicas of the originals, which are in the Islamic Fine Arts Museum in Istanbul. which in fact is opposite from the Blue Mosque. I don't know if you've been in that part of the town. Yes. Those are the dyes of the 18th century and the designs of the 18th century, and we have the right to replicate that. So is this particular one with the double birds design. It's an ushak of the 16th century in the same museum. However, the next two over here are in Berlin Museum. The Phoenix and the Dragon is a 15th century design. The Hans Holbein Bergamo carpet, attributed to the famous German painter of the 16th century. They're both in Berlin Museum, and we have the right to replicate them. Over here we have a central medallion design, which in fact goes best with classical furniture according to the Interior Decorators Association. The one next to it, overall pattern, does go better with contemporary seating like the ones you're seated on. The rest being nomadic, Aboriginal, early American to some people, they go better with, in fact, country-style furniture. The very first design with our research that we found that happens to exist on rugs is this horn design, and the bull's horn, or the ram's horn as we call it. This is a 45-year-old keçi muslu carpet from central Turkey, by the way. And besides the horn design, you see the cross design, you see the hands-on hips design. And if you wish to know who else may have used the same designs, now I will surprise you. The Navajos also used the bull's horn design. They have also used the cross design long before Christianity ever existed. What surprised us most is that they have used this Turkish tree of life, birds of paradise design, which I will show you at the end of the show. So when you look at that, and look at the map today, and realize that we're miles away from where the Navajos live today, then you ask the question, how did this all happen? They were living side by side with each other several thousand years back. They had drought, they had to leave the land, like the global warming we're all expecting. Navajos went over the Bering Land Bridge to Alaska before coming to Albuquerque, New Mexico, Arizona, part of the US of A. And the Turkic tribes, they moved this way. It's very similar with the languages we all speak. Languages are represented by symbols, which forms the alphabet. So when you look at the Finnish language and the Hungarian language and the Turkish language, they're all part of the Indo-Ural group of languages. They use many of the similar words we use in Turkey today. So as a result of that, we find the relevance, but what is more surprising based on our research is this tuba design, T-U-B-A, and that's the Navajo version of it, made in Turkey also. And tuba, T-U-B-A, means happiness in Arabic. From the background Aramaic Arabic, coming from Ethiopia, this word, happiness, happens to be a city in Arizona. Some of you may know that. Tuba City, Arizona. Spelled identically the same, T-U-B-A. T-U-B-A is a musical instrument. Of course, this is a saxophone. This is the closest I could find to it. But ladies and gentlemen, how are these rugs technically made? Let's have a look at that. In the English language, there's a little bit of a confusion. First of all, it's known as the art of weaving. But the art of weaving is split into two parts. If they're woven, then they're kilims. K-I-L-I-M. A kilim is woven and it's reversible. And I will suggest you to feel the rugs in front of you from both sides like this, not just the top, caressing it. For you to understand carpets and kilims, you have to feel them from both sides like that. Looking at it from a distance can be deceiving, okay? So this is a kilim. So how are the rugs made? They're knotted, okay? Either with the Iranian single knot and a twist, or with the Turkish double knot. So these These are the two knotting techniques used in the making of carpets. Why do the Turks want to use more material and time to make their rugs with the double knotting technique? The word is durability. And that is a very important word. Please remember that. Açıyoruz öbür onları. Now we want to show you another group of our rugs coming from this very catalog, which is called Antique Ottoman Rugs in Transylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, Transylvania is in the heart of Europe. It's Romania, Austria, Germany, Hungary, and yet, in a part of Romania, there is this very interesting black church. And within the black church, in Brașov, Romania, there happens to be 379 Turkish carpets from 1600s on exhibit inside the church, alone in that church. So what I'm trying to say, these are the replicas of those in that church, and we have the right to replicate them. But what's important is durability. They last very long, okay, if you know how to look after them. So how can you tell the difference between handmade and machine-made rugs is the next question. These two are good quality Turkish machine-made rugs. By the way, they're not knotted, they're tufted. Tufting means V format. The machine comes in, goes out. They use glue at the back to keep the whole thing together. But in time, the glue goes soft. And if you have cats, okay, they will enjoy your machine-made carpets tremendously. That's why these won't last you more than 20 years, whether you have cats or not. But these will. Minimum 200 years. And the good thing is I don't have to be there to prove it. The books, the museums, the churches all around the world is my proof. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first word is durability. Now, durability is the key word. That is why people buy handmade carpets, knowing they're more expensive than their counterparts, the machine-made rugs. Why? It's a simple logic. If you have $1,000 to spend for carpets, would you like your $1,000 to go 20 years or 200 years? So in these economically hardship times, please remember the fact that these go the longer route. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, secondly, most important is, besides durability, it is impossible to duplicate a handmade carpet. They're always single merchandise. Why is that? Now we wish to show you these two rugs, which are handmade twin carpets, as we call it, like this twin kilim, done by the same young girl using the same loom, the same pattern. She's finished 2 in a row, and yet we have not separated them in the center. But if we do and measure them individually, there is a difference of 1 inch longer on one than the other. The same is with the rugs here. They were twins, we clipped them off. So they're now separate, but still one is 1 inch longer than the other. Why is that? Vuruyoruz. Ladies and gentlemen, this young lady right here is working on a pure silk carpet, which will be about this size when she completes it in the next 13 months. She's into the 4th month already. But she's tying approximately 1,090 double knots in 1 square inch. It's very, very hard work. When the show is over, you're more welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to sit next to her and she'll show you how to make the Turkish knot. But in fact, she beats it down when she completes the line. Why? To get more knots to the square inch. More knots takes longer to make. It's like the HD effect with the cameras. More pixels, more money. Okay? More knots, more money. Because it takes time to make the more knots. That is why you look on the reverse side of the rugs to see if they have a lot of knots or not, to understand the quality of rugs. That's how you become an expert of rugs. More knots, finer they become, more expensive they will be. So ladies and gentlemen, that is why these handmade rugs are always in the line of collectibles. According to the Fortune magazine, Fortune magazine 1989 issue, which I share with my students, I've been teaching in the last 35 years, Turkish rugs. A rare seminar on collectibles begins with a Cadillac being an American magazine. Continues with paintings, Petrus wines. Rugs like this richly colored 100-year-old Turkish specimen is worth about $12,000. They become collectibles if you use them correctly. And after the man with the apple tea drinks, I will teach you how to use them correctly rather than abuse them, okay? In the meantime, where is everyone from? Are they?
From North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Takılma buraya, dikkat et.
You want to?
Thank you.
Shamu. How is the Shamu doing? Doing Brisbane, down under. Welcome. Brisbane? Brisbane? North, south?
San Diego.
San Diego as well, Shamu? North Carolina? North Carolina? Peachtree Street? Wow. Oh, Stone Mountain. Where are you from? Do you watch Frasier? You used to, so did we. Denver. Do you know a man called Mr. Carrington? He did Dynasty, remember? Okay.
Ontario, Canada.
Ontario, the other side, yes?
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland with the green, wonderful. Sir, where are you from?
Puerto Rico.